I talked about CiviCRM earlier. CiviCRM is an open source CRM, really, really powerful, but not user friendly. And you have to have the coding skills to make it happen. You have to host it yourself. So the pros are if you have the skill, you can build exactly what you want, right? We have one of the things that happens in Illinois is people will often come to me and say, I don't like how this system works. Well, I'm sorry, but this is a multi-million-dollar corporation and we pay them $100 a month. Like, they're not going to completely change their system for us, right? We're pretty small potatoes, and we may not be using it how they intended it to be ideally used. So if you really want something to work exactly how you want it, you can build it in CiviCRM. And you can offer a full suite of features like Nation Builder or Action Network, but it's kind of done a la carte via modules, where you install your basic CiviCRM and then you kind of start adding supplemental things to it and getting them connected. The cons are it's a heavy learning curve. You've got to have some pretty serious database and technical skills to get it set up and to get the different modules installed and then communicating properly with each other. One thing I will say is once you learn it, it's less user-friendly. It's no less user-friendly than any of the other ones I've talked about, right? It's just different and the setup is hard. You do have to handle your own hosting, which means you're also responsible for the data security. And there's no centralized support system. There is a strong user community and third-party vendors, but you're not paying for it, right? It's like your free Gmail account. If something happens, there's no Google tech support for your free Gmail account. You got G Suite, yeah, you can get some support, but free tools, something goes wrong in Facebook, there's really no recourse, right? That's just not how those companies work. And it's kind of the same way here, except there's a large user base. So the Hawkins Walker campaign made the conscious decision to start developing a green CiviCRM in our 2020 campaign. And by the end of the campaign, we were collecting all donations, sending all of our emails, getting all of our volunteer form intakes. So really a lot of the big stuff was happening through Civi. I would say our install is about halfway to where it needs to be. And that's after we put 50 grand into it, right? So if we get another 50 grand that we can put into CiviCRM, we could have a green CRM and we could stop worrying about the debate between Nation Builder and Action Network and all that. And we could have something that's designed and functioning for us. So for that reason, long term, I think, party-wide should be a green CiviCRM should be something we're talking about. But for an individual campaign, unless you have someone with the experience, it's a whole lot of work for something that's going to end in a year, right, when your campaign's over, unless you're working with your state party to hand it over or something. I was told years ago that Greens spend about $50,000 on Nation Builder collectively, because the national party pays for theirs, and then Texas pays for theirs, and then New York pays for theirs, and then California pays for theirs. And so this is that parallel thing I'm talking about, right? We're all paying for our own systems rather than having a collective system that we share. And that $50,000, like I said, could get us CiviCRM in a green-oriented way. So long-term, our national, our state, and our local parties and campaigns need to be looking at developing this. And then once it's developed, state parties, local parties, campaigns can rent usage for a nominal fee, which will pay for a database administrator to actually oversee the whole thing. Because like I've said, there's no support when something breaks. You need someone who knows what they're doing, and we should pay that person.